Hi, I'm Jenna.
And I'm Heather.
And this is Conspiracies Unlocked. And today we are going to be talking about chemtrails. I don't know if anybody knows what chemtrails are. I'm sure that you do. The theory's been around for quite some time. But a chemtrail is a play on words from contrail. And contrail are line-shaped clouds that are produced by aircraft engine exhaust or changes in air pressure. So it's made of water and it's like vapor.
Oh.
Or steam, like when we take a shower and the mirror's all fogged up. Or whenever you're in the car and the window gets foggy.
Oh,
just on a bigger scale, and it makes little lines of clouds. Or like whenever you see the planes writing things in the sky.
Oh, yes.
There you go. Yeah. So it's like that. And supposedly that's all it is. That's all it's ever been. But every so often, you will see in the sky like cross hatches, like a lot of lines all at once, and then they'll be going different directions. And it almost look like they're weaving a basket, but across the whole sky. Have you seen those?
And they're very straight.
They're very straight. Planes should be going straight. If you're not going straight, then you shouldn't be driving a plane or flying a plane. Well, yeah, I'd be kind of scared.
I guess I was comparing it to like when they write stuff in the sky.
Lines.
It's like,
I think when they write the things on the lines, they there's like more water. It has to do with the water and the air pressure and the change in the temperature, stuff like that. I don't know. But it's like that. And so when they're doing the writing on the skies, they're using a lot more water or producing more.
So is it like condensation, kind of?
Yeah, well, and that's really what clouds are anyways. It's when the high pressure hits the low pressure and the moisture in the air and makes a cloud. Something like that.
Well, that's what fog is, right? Low clouds?
Yeah, fog is just low clouds.
So we're essentially driving through clouds when it's foggy.
Yeah.
And then when they're writing in the sky, they're just
creating
using those clouds.
Yeah, and then like the kids have a little airplane that they got for Christmas, and it actually steam comes out the back.
Oh, fun.
To make it look like it, so even these little toys can produce it. They can mimic it.
Oh, wow. Just from the air in your house?
Yeah, just from here. I have to put water in it.
Oh, like a humidifier.
Yes! Oh, just like a humidifier.
So it's a mini humidifier.
Probably that was exactly what it would be. The little airplane. Well, it's a big airplane. I don't know.
Oh, but I mean,
essentially,
in comparison to an aircraft.
Yeah. Yeah. So no, that's exactly what it is, and so that's what a contrail is.
So
CON trail.
Oh, CON
contrail. Now, the difference between a contrail and a chemtrail, which is CHEM, like chemicals, is that the conspiracy is that they're putting chemicals in it. Why people think that they're chemtrails instead of contrails is not only because they're cross-hatched and they're all weird. Whenever you see them, there's a whole bunch of them. Mm-hmm. And what the government says is that it's just because of the air pressure, it's staying longer because of that. But that's the difference, is that contrails dissipate pretty quickly when chemtrails just stay.
Okay, but the other thing too is, why would it be in that shape? Because when a plane flies, it's just going like linear.
It's just going
one.
Yeah, so why are there so many? Either there's a lot of planes going that way and then that way, or it's the same plane going back and forth. I've only seen like them in the sky. Like, I've never seen the plane go. I've only seen the lines later, and they're just straight. Like, I don't see if it's like turns around the plane. I don't see the ends, so it's just very long.
Well, it would be really hard for us to even decipher with the naked eye without some kind of...
Unless you're at the very beginning of it.
Like,
or the
how
end
would
of it,
you know what kind of plane it is? Or I don't know what different planes look like.
Well, there is an app on your phone that's Flight Tracker, and you can see what planes are going, where they came from, and it's really cool. They actually tell you how fast they're going, what elevation they're at, what kind of plane. It doesn't work for police or military planes, though.
And so are the ones that are the chemtrails, are they military?
I don't know because I've never seen it. If I'd seen one making it, then I would look and see what kind of plane. no idea. I've never seen it made. I've just seen the outcome.
Yeah, so just the actual trail.
Yeah, and we'll put
cloud.
we'll put the pictures of what I'm talking about, the crosshatch, like woven basket, on the Instagram, so we can like show people.
Oh yeah, I want to see it too because I can imagine it, but I don't know if I'm thinking of the same pattern that you're speaking of. It's just lines.
It's really, you've seen it, you just don't know you've seen it. So, there are a few different theories as to why chemtrails, why they would want to put chemicals and chemtrail the earth and the environment and the airspace. And a few of those are to combat global warming, population control, biological and chemical warfare, psychological manipulation, solar radiation management, and the main one would be weather modification.
Wow.
We're going to get into the theories, but those are like what we're going to touch on today.
Those are some pretty deep. I mean, what was one of them? What did it say?
Psychological manipulation.
Psychological manipulation?
Yeah, I couldn't find too much on that one. It kind of ties into biological and chemical warfare.
Oh.
They kind of tie in together, but ultimately, I couldn't really find too much on that particular reasoning why. I think they just grouped it together at one point. Yeah.
That's just crazy to even think about that, though.
So,
I never would have thought that they would even do that.
Yeah, well, in the UK, in the 40s and 70s, it came out that they were testing the biological and chemical warfare, like on their people in the UK. It hasn't been proven, but that's what the conspiracy says. That's what the theory is, that's what they were doing way back then. But that's the only thing that I could find way, in the early 1900s. What all came to light was in the 1996, the Air Force made a report about weather modification. The title of the report is called, and you can look it up and read it for yourself, it's 58 pages. So I read it, parts of it, skimmed through parts of it, but the title is Weather as a Force Multiplier, Owning the Weather in 2025.
Oh, wow.
So that's in 2 years that they predicted that they would have the technology and everything they needed to control the weather and manipulate the weather for the purpose. The Air Force in this outlined why and what, and they think that they can use it for warfare in the future, which is now.
Warfare?
Uh-huh.
See, my brain went to create more rain for the crops.
Yeah.
Or, where there's places where they're having ice storms recently and really bad weather and people are getting snowed in, that they would eliminate that so they don't have, people can go to work and it's not like a economically
that way
crisis
whenever that way the seasons change, you could manipulate that. If you're having a drought, create some rain.
Exactly.
Right?
No, but they went straight for war.
Yes. Yes. Because it's the Air Force doing it, so they're trying to think, and they actually said it would be ignorant to not do this and not advance the technology because other people will be doing it, like other governments or other, military, other countries. Their military will be doing it. Yeah. And at that point, they had technology, but it wasn't advanced enough. And if it was advanced enough, it's affordable enough. So they already had that. They had the money. Yeah. They had the technology, just wasn't there yet. So they thought that by 2025 that this would be like common practice.
Wow.
And that is where the term chemtrails came from this report. So the Air Force started this conspiracy theory all by itself, and it used to be on the Air Force website, like the .gov, but now you have to get it off of other sites. You can't even get it off the .gov, I don't think.
So
I'm not sure. It might be buried in there somewhere, but I couldn't find it on the .gov. I found it numerous other places though. Yeah, and it's like legit. It's like a whole They have diagrams, like...
So what was one of the things that they said they would do? Like, let's say they're going to go after your country, they're going to flood them out with rain, or what?
They used an example of South America.
Okay.
And they had said that in South America, let's say that they know that South America gets thunderstorms every day at 3:30. Well, they know that then the South American, like, the country the military won't be active because they can't see. Or they can't, the visibility and stuff.
Yeah.
So they said, well then, we will make it rain the whole time. Or we'll take away the thunder and lightning. Or we'll manipulate it to catch them off guard. Then they could also make it to where they could make it, like foggy where you can't see anything. But our military would know and then would know where to go because they just put the fog on. It's like putting a mask on someone all of a sudden and then... you know where they are, but they're like, oh my god, I'm blind, I can't see now.
Yeah, so you basically just, like, cloak them in fog or something, yep. But then you're not in the fog, so you can kind of sneak in there, swoop in there, and they're all confused and they don't know what's going on.
Exactly. It's almost like those James Bond 007, like, whatever. I've never even seen one of those movies, but that type of movie where they throw in the can...
Yes.
And then they go around and kill everybody.
That's what I was kind of thinking
or
of.
the lasers they blow they throw in the can, then they can see all the lasers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like a smoke bomb.
Yeah, smoke bomb. So that is how. So what we need for the weather control would be 1, advanced nonlinear modeling techniques. 2, computational capability. So like the computer being able to,
because they have to track it.
Yeah,
and everything. Probably radar or something.
Yes, 3, information gathering and transmission. 4, global sensory array. 5, weather intervention techniques. And we already have most of that. We already did then in 1996. Now we do have it. So, if you think about what was going on in 1996, fax machine, computer barely coming along, internet. Now we have video. Mm-hmm. Like calls, we have Zoom, we have all these satellites and all this shit like all around us all the time, the Wi-Fi and the transmitters and everything. So and they already had some of that then, and now it's just gotten, so we have everything to do it now.
We're more capable than ever now with the technology advancements.
Yeah, and so they knew that we would reach it within the 31 years or 29 years.
Wow.
And so in 2 years, supposedly. So in 1947, there was a law with the UN, like everybody came together, like the whole world, the global people came together in 1947 and said there's going to be legal consequences for playing with or altering weather. And so that halted all future experiments.
So they were already talking about this in the 40s, that they were going to try to...
And so they were probably because of the World War II and all the atomic bombs or this or that.
You're right. God, a lot of stuff happened in the 40s.
Yeah. And then in 1977, the UN General Assembly prohibited the use of hostile environmental modification techniques. Convention on the Prohibition of Military or Any Other Hostile Use of Environmental Modification Technique. And it was shortened to ENMOD, E-N-M-O-D. And that was like a law. So now they could experiment again, but under the ruse that it's not for hostile purposes. It's just for scientific.
Wink, wink.
Let's, exactly. Like, let's make sure our crops are good. Let's make sure, our cows have green grass.
Yeah, that's where my brain went initially. Like, oh, this is a good thing.
And so the Global Weather Network in the 1996 was predicted to have instant weather updates through people on the ground, water, and space, recording, and spreading changes in the weather instantly. And they thought that the GWN would have that done by 2005, which they did. And I even think they did it ahead of time because we were able to see 3-day weather. The 3-day weather forecast.
I see, yeah.
Yeah, because there's satellites, and then there's people in the water doing the temperature to be like, this is going to be an El Nino year. And so they have it everywhere, and they're all communicating. It's the global weather. So global weather is part of like AccuWeather, Weather Channel. That's all part of the global weather network. Except now they're able to tell you hour by hour, and they're pretty spot on. Remember in the like early 2000s, they'd always be wrong. They'd be like, it's gonna rain, and then it didn't rain, or it's gonna be sunny, it'd be pouring down rain. Now it's like hour by hour. Like last week when we had that storm here.
Oh, they can track the storm
right on time.
Yeah.
So with that, they know it's coming. They can stop it with the weather modification through the CHEMtrails, or they can make it happen. And now they're able to do hour by hour, second by second. You know, it's the technology has just advanced so rapidly. So, and they're hoping to do that by 2005. So the report goes on to say, to show step by step a diagram on how they will be achieving these CONtrails for weather modification in the year 2025. So 29 years in the future. And the diagram shows the Earth, some satellites in the sky, and some satellites down below. Like step 1, receive transmission. And the transmission, is that the right transmission? Radio transmission. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be
transmission. I was thinking of a car. That's what I'm like, what?
Like an engine transmission?
Yeah, an engine transmission. So, you know, it needs to talk to this radio, to this satellite, to this over here. And the very last diagram shows an airplane above the sky, like above the Earth, doing CONtrails for weather modification. Of course, this was before the term chemtrails was a thing. And so what they're saying, though, is that chemtrails have toxins, metals, aluminum, chlorine, ammonia, sarin, S-A-R-I-N, I'm not sure how to say it, and soman, S-O-M-A-N, and other toxins that spread diseases and viruses for either population control or biological warfare. If the enemies, so what I took from it is that if the enemies are dying from some incurable disease, they can't fight back. And then population control, in general, I feel like people are always trying to do population control, you know?
So they said it was specifically for population control was one of the things?
That's one of the things, that not from the military, just in general. That's just another conspiracy, is that that they're trying to do population control. They're even saying that they're trying to distribute COVID-19, the virus, that they were distributing it via chemtrails, and then they were distributing the vaccine via chemtrails. Mind control to promote a new world order.
Oh, wow.
And then, remember how I said that there's metals and aluminum in the chemtrails?
Yes.
In the past few years, Alzheimer's disease has increased immensely, and they've shown a link to Alzheimer's disease. I say Alzheimer's, but it's with the Z, Alzheimer's disease, to having too much aluminum on the brain.
And then they're putting it in our atmosphere, so we're breathing it in, which is causing
more and more people to have these problems, such as Alzheimer's.
So why are they trying to promote dementia in the elderly?
I think that the thought is that they are trying to get rid of the elderly, the people with weak and immune systems, and just population control, get rid of the sick and old, the ones that can't fight it off, and that would be it. That's the only reason that I can think of. And then, get this. You know how there's been way more wildfires recently than ever before?
Yeah, especially like in 2009, there was a lot of wildfires.
Mm-hmm. And they're saying, even recently, I mean, last year, I think all of Northern California, me and Brad were going to races, and we couldn't even get to some of them. We tried to go to a wedding in Fresno, and there was a fire. Like, everything, there's fires from LA and up. Like, all of California was burning down, like, 2 years ago.
Yeah, it has been really bad.
It's been really bad. Well, get this. Aluminum particles are also combustible.
Oh.
And so suddenly we're seeing an increase in wildfires.
Yeah, suspect there. That sounds like they're causing fires.
Uh-huh. And and then also chemtrails are thought to quicken the global warming process.
Why would they? I thought they were trying to combat global warming.
Of course they are.
Why would they want...
For New World Order. Because they want to accelerate global warming so they can get their environmental policies, laws, and taxes to pass.
Oh, so they can push forward with all the electric cars. And
so a few years ago, it was claimed that the UK trapped the sun's heat for 48 hours. So they were already, it was like July or June, it was already really hot. They did the chemtrails to trap the heat for 48 hours to maintain record high temps to promote their agenda of climate control. Global warming is happening, and it happened a few days before people were going to vote or whatever, before they signed in a bunch of new policies on environmental and stuff.
Wow, so they're just using
they don't even give a
manipulate votes, manipulate people.
Everybody, which is what were you asking about before? The psychological manipulation.
Yes.
So that's what I'm saying. Like that kind of just ties into a bunch of it.
That makes more sense now with the psychological manipulation, because I couldn't figure out like what type of things are they trying to manipulate with their psyche. You know, what are they? Yeah, they're trying to influence us for their agenda, for their laws, and for the different bills they're trying to pass, and
to get
whatever.
More taxes,
more money,
environmental taxes,
fear.
More money, fear. Yeah, put fear in people's brains, and that's manipulation.
It's like propaganda.
It's propaganda in a non-propaganda way. Like there's no posters or anything like that. And there's nobody to blame, and it's all a conspiracy. So there's nothing that you can be like, oh, here's a poster of this is propaganda. Or there's an advertisement here, that's propaganda. It is an invisible type thing that's occurring.
Which is even scarier, because you can't really pinpoint it, and you don't know what's true and what's not true, and you don't know what to believe. So it gets people thinking even more.
Uh-huh. Chemtrails is like a pretty big conspiracy theory. And you look at it, and the more that you look at it, the more you'll start noticing them in the sky, the more you're gonna be like, oh yeah, and then it'll coincide with something, and then you'll be like, oh shit, maybe it is true. And then it'll make your mind. So even if it's not true, it's still psychologically manipulating. Even if it's not true. So get this one. Surprisingly, Bill Gates funded chemical clouds to help stop global warming. So he is giving money to scientists to make chemtrails, but not, or CONtrails, whatever, but in the form of more clouds to stop global warming, quote unquote. And this is just like the chemtrails, except scientists call it solar geoengineering.
Okay.
And they are fake clouds as opposed to trails. And also they haven't done it yet, but the technology is almost there, and with Bill Gates funding the project, it's super affordable. They'll be able to solar bioengineer.
So they're basically moving from the simple trail
to
an actual cloud that they could just put out a cloud,
and we're all gonna eat it up because we're gonna save global warming, we're gonna fix everything, when God knows what they're really doing.
That's really scary.
It is.
When you think about it. Like when you really think about, especially who's funding it, because there's already so many conspiracy theories just associated with
Bill
his
Gates'
name.
Population control being one.
Yeah.
That's a huge one with him, that he went on the record saying like in 1990s, about the time that the Air Force came out with their report saying that we needed population control, and there's too much of us, and we need to have a virus or something, or like, and then all of a sudden COVID-19, all this shit comes out.
It's all connected.
Yeah. I wonder if it's all connected. Have you ever seen the movie or the TV show Manifest?
Yes, I have.
They're always like, it's all connected.
Yes.
The little boy is always like, it's connected. It's all connected. That's why I feel like we're having like, I don't know how, because every conspiracy that we have talked about, it's like they are all connected somehow, some way.
Mm-hmm. I feel like it all started in the 40s too. World War II, and then everything.
And then it just, all the conspiracies came forward. So, to me, I think that the Earth is a living species, and that several million, if not billions, of ecosystems live on Earth. So it's like a living species.
Oh, yes.
That just keeps going. The Earth goes through natural changes. And I think if we keep messing with the natural order of Earth, we will lose no matter what. Mother Nature always wins.
No, I totally agree with what you're saying, because, I mean, you have to think that this is going to affect every living species on the planet, not just humans.
Yeah.
And when you talk about population control, a lot of people think, oh, human population control. But there's also plants, animals, even down to the smallest little bacteria. Even inside of our bodies, we need
all
good
part
bacteria.
Of the ecosystem.
It's all connected.
And it's all connected.
And then it also talk about like population control with like the food supply and the food chain. How is that going to affect? It's going to trickle down. Trickle. It's going to trickle down to the botanical life and the zoological life. Plants.
Even cell phones. Cell phone towers, if you notice, whenever they put up a new cell phone tower around you, you'll see a lot of dead bees.
Birds, too.
And bees pollinate everything. Mm-hmm. Without bees, we wouldn't even have trees or life or anything.
No.
Bees are like the like staple of our whole environment.
Yeah, we need the bees because they pollinate the flowers, and that makes the fruits.
And the trees and everything. Anything that's like botanical. Yeah, it's really crazy how everything really is connected. But chemtrails can seriously like make everything really fucked up.
So does that mean it's also polluting our water? Because what you put in the sky, it's gonna fall down.
Which is how the wildfires, and then we're breathing it, we're drinking it, all the aluminum, which is why the Alzheimer's and anything else that has like metal. So even there's a thing that says like autism is related to metals because the vaccines that they give like kids, there's metals in them.
All the
heavy metals. So if that's the case, even if your kid isn't vaccinated because you don't want to chance that, then the aluminum causes autism. They're saying, all conspiracies, whatever. But so they're putting it in the chemtrails, and now more and more kids have autism, ADHD, and all the other disorders, or it seems to always be brain stuff with aluminum.
I mean, it makes sense because,
you're
not supposed to have that much metal in your body. I mean, are we even supposed to have? And I'm sure we do have some metal in our body. Like we do need
iron. Yeah, we do have some metals,
but not. Do we naturally even have aluminum in us? No.
I don't think so. I don't know where aluminum comes from.
I don't think we would even have that in us. So the fact that we even have any is pretty disturbing.
Yeah.
Unless, I know that there are certain, vegetables and things that are grown in the earth. I think they're, the root, the bulb ones, I'm going to say it wrong, but maybe, the potatoes or the carrots.
No, those aren't bulb ones. Those are roots.
Roots. Okay, so the root ones... It could be bulb also, but they do absorb some, they absorb the minerals. Yeah. And I know that some metals and things do get absorbed naturally. But I think
naturally. That's iron. I don't think that's
iron. Huh? Yeah, there's aluminum.
No, aluminum shouldn't be in our bodies. That'd be let's put titanium in our bodies. I mean, they make titanium hips, but
aluminum.
It makes a new definition for metalhead. Dum-dum-dum.
Totally does. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so
aluminum, that's really scary.
I'm thinking that Chemtrails is definitely like, it's a conspiracy for sure, but I think that there are aspects of it that are completely true. Whenever you look up chemtrails, and because even when the planes go by with the stuff, with the putting out like the signs with the clouds, it dissipates a lot faster than chemtrails. Chemtrails take, like, these trails that they're saying are chemtrails take forever, and the fact that the Air Force already put out a report on how they're going to do it, what they need to do it, when they're going to have it done by, and then all of a sudden everything's lining up just right for it.
I mean, they're not really being secretive about it.
No, and then especially Bill Gates being like, hey, fuck the chemtrails, we're just going to make a whole big damn cloud.
Yeah, the chemtrails is probably not working fast enough, or it's not efficient enough,
it's
or
probably
whatever.
not efficient enough because it's just a little thing, so they want the whole everything.
Or maybe the cost of fuel, like it takes a lot to do one trail
as
like,
opposed to just getting a blimp out there and be like,
but yeah, how would they put the cloud out there? They would have to have...
Oh my gosh, it's like the cloud. Maybe they've been like trying to prep us this whole time with the cloud. The Android, Galaxy, Samsung cloud. The iPhone cloud. Maybe
cloud.
It's a literal cloud now. Maybe it's been like, that would be like, they're trying to manipulate us to be like, oh, this is normal.
I don't know, but it's really scary to even think about it. My brain can't even...
It's crazy. So, anyways, it's just crazy that they haven't been that secretive about it, and it's just like they've just decided to approach it a different way, and it's cool now because we're gonna fix global warming. But is that really what they're doing?
How is aluminum gonna fix global warming? I don't get it. Like, what? It's gonna bounce the reflection.
No,
of
that's
the
not.
sun
No,
off,
they're saying that there isn't aluminum. That's the conspiracy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're saying
they're not even
saying
admitting
how.
to the.
No, they haven't said how they would do it. They're just saying this is what we're planning to do, is make a fake cloud. Just like with everything, they say I want to do this, and they don't tell you how, but everyone's like, sounds great, let's do it. But how?